Hey, this is Ree here. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate all of you. Om Adhyaya Namaha. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing. It really helps me a lot. Don't forget to check out my website, paradoxastrology.com. Book your consultation today. I can help you with anything. And if you would like more exclusive occult videos that I don't post on YouTube, consider subscribing to my Patreon. It also helps to support this channel. Okay, so let's get into this video about the transit of Jupiter in Gemini. Now, this is not including all aspects. I'll probably make a separate video about the aspects. Let's get into it. So Jupiter will enter Gemini on May 14th. Now, Jupiter will be moving very fast and at an accelerated rate. Where Jupiter is placed in your chart or the houses it rules, there can be some ups and downs as Jupiter is not friendly to Mercury. Many will be searching for knowledge in the beginning, but will be hesitant to spend money. Some will be chasing things that may be a mirage because they thought the grass was greener on the other side. All that glitters ain't gold. Many will be signing contracts. Communication and publishing, writing, books, poetry, music will increase. Many will want short versions of videos to come in publications to consume. Long distance travel can come quicker as there can be more ways to do this, especially in foreign nations or long distance travels. And this can happen due to technology as well. Confusion can happen as many options can become available because Gemini is a dual sign. Now, Jupiter will be in Gemini from May 14th until October 18th, and then it will make a quick stop into Cancer, where it will be exalted. And then it will retrograde back into Gemini December 5th, 2025, until June 1st, 2026. Now, I'm not going to talk about the retrograde in this video, but I'll make a separate video for that. Also, I already made a video about Jupiter's transit in Margashira Nakshatra, but here is a quick recap in case you didn't see that video. Also, last time this transit happened was from May 30th, 2013 until June 18th, 2014. So if you think back at the events at this time may be repeated. What is Jupiter? Jupiter is religion, philosophy, capitalism, the finances of countries, foreign trade, long journeys, charitable institutions, bankers, brokers, interest rate, pensions, tax collection. Yes, it is happiness, it is abundance, but you already know that. So I'm going to tell you things that maybe you didn't hear from a million other astrologers. This is also politics, commerce in general, merchants, shipping, merchandise, people of high statuses, law, science. So new ways of currency exchange can happen from banks. This can expand and give new ways of commerce, like China has done by selling to you directly the products that it was making for luxury brands. I have a video about that. This can help with talks of foreign countries to be more positive, having open communication. This can help individuals as well, which is needed since Mars is in Cancer for a very long time, was creating a lot of passive aggressiveness and is still there until June. A possibility of increasing interest rates on exchanges. New crypto can emerge. Greater expansion and luck to retails and shipping. And unfortunately, this is kind of one of those transits that can have the banks start including some kind of crypto, and I really hope that doesn't happen. So in Margashira, to recap, Jupiter will be making a search for knowledge and exploration. This can be the knowledge of Tantra and the goddesses. This teaching must align with our soul's purpose so that you avoid getting lost. This can make many very creative and expand opportunities to do so. Creative writing especially, painting and design. Going to scenic places. Alternative symbol of this is the pot of soma. The true soma is leaked from the pineal gland, which helps us to see past the illusion and past physical reality itself. So you have the choice to be a victim of the illusion or rise above it. This is also the vital liquids within our body. So when it comes to the illusion, there are a lot of marital problems that can pop up with this nakshatra based on illusion. Thinking things were better somewhere else, and just not appreciating what you have, and that's an illusion, that's not real. So just be very cautious of that. Because in the story of Ramayana, Sita becomes fixated wanting to possess a golden deer and asks Rama to do so, but he is occupied. And while he's occupied, she is then kidnapped by the demons who were the deer all along. So it was a trap. So this is the kind of illusion that can happen. Now, this is what broke the illusion of luxury brands, which were being built in China, like I mentioned. There was this illusion where people were thinking that because something costs a lot of money, that it must be worth a lot of money, but it wasn't. That's the illusion. So that's Megashira, which will happen until June 9th. But on June 9th, Jupiter will enter Ardhara Nakshatra. This is ruled by Bhariva, who is Rudra. Bhariva is a fierce version of Shiva, which is born from his third eye to cut off the fifth head of Brahma. The fifth head of Brahma represents history and tradition. And then because of this, he had to carry the skull for 12 years and had to beg for food and eat and drink from the skull. And then after the 12 years, it finally drops. I think that's when he cries. And the tears are represented by this nakshatra. That's why you see the Rudraksha, which is a mala bead, the mala beads that you see a lot of spiritual people or yogis wearing, which comes from the tree, a specific tree in Nepal, that represents the tears of Bhariva, of happiness, or the tears of Shiva. So this nakshatra has a lot of events of sorrow that happen. It's extremely destructive. Remember, Shiva destroys, which is tamas, poison. Bhariva turns everything to ash. At the same time, we have Mars and Ketu in conjunction in Leo, which is fire. So these events are fast like a storm that suddenly hits. So a lot of water events happen in here. A lot of very traumatic events happen in here. Sorry to say, but that's just what it is. Forest fires, destruction of nature happens. But these events are fast like a storm and hits and wipes everything out that is no longer needed. The suffering comes from dwelling on the past and holding on to things. Let things be. Trust Bhariva. Do the sadhana. Pray to him. Have devotion. And this is a necessary storm, but it passes quickly. Now, from June 16th to June 28th, it is important not to be a yes man. Say how you really feel and be genuine to people. And be on the lookout for people pleasers, those who may not be telling you the truth. There will be a lot of media propaganda at this time. May be difficult in the matters of trade, communication, transport, short distance travel, learning. And Jupiter will be here at the same time. I think this is also the time when Jupiter will be combust as well. And I'm going to make a video about that, but I didn't include this in here because it's going to be way too long. But also, some people can leave their significant other for someone more influential during that time. June 28th to July 12th. Some people may be inclined not to pay others for their work, so get the money up front. July 12th to July 27th. Here, people can win big all of a sudden and get money out of nowhere. Big money can come from trade or gambling. The markets. If you were wishing for this for a long time, make sure that you donate some. Or if you made a promise to someone or God that you'll do XYZ, if you get money, make sure that you don't break that promise at this time, because then you'll get bad karma for it. July 27th to August 12th. Be careful trusting people, especially spiritual leaders, as some may prove to be different than what they portray. Now, during that time, from the 9th to August 12th, it will bring up a lot of themes about electricity. There could be power outages out of nowhere, losing electricity, or computers going down, things like that. Software development can heighten as well. There can be a lot of developments in electricity and stuff, but there can be problems. That can affect schools, for example. There's going to be a lot of themes around the film industry, sci-fi, science fiction, surgeons, physicians, the pharmaceutical industry. There can be leaks of poison, people dying of poison. Things about chemical fertilizer industry. Cancer can go on the rise. Politicians, manipulators, there can be like snipers, hitmen type things occurring. Problems with nuclear power plants. But there will definitely be a lot of crime and investigation. But new science, new technology can definitely come out during this time, can amplify that and make it go a lot faster. Things that are very out of the box. Yeah, and then on August 12th, Jupiter will enter Punarvasu. So that's all about hitting a target, traveling, truth and renewal. Whatever was destroyed in Ardhara will give you more purpose, and now you will be able to achieve bigger things when it's over and regain what was lost. So that's very important to remember. If you go through a hard time, it will be fine. It's only for less than a month. this will actually help the matters of trade somewhat. This can increase the energy and resources at one's hand. You can retrieve things that you lost. Blessings and new beginnings happen. Themes of returning safe from a mission can increase warlike activities, crimes involving guns and shooting. August 12th to August 29th. There's themes around taking the wealth of others, sudden outbursts of anger. One thing is to make sure to spend money on yourself, like don't hoard your money, because those hoarding money during this time could lose it. August 29th to September 19th can bring out themes of people not getting paid for their work. This goes into Taurus Navamsha, which is about resources. So it's about people not getting paid for their work as they're deemed by others as a lower caste. Taurus is money. This is in the US's 6th house of civil servants and debt. And I say this because also October 1st to October 17, 2013, this same transit happened. And guess what happened then? The United States federal government entered a shutdown and curtailed most routine operations because neither legislation, appropriate funds for the fiscal year of 2014, nor a continuing resolution because the appropriations for the fiscal year of 2014 was not enacted in time. So during the shutdown, there was 800,000 federal employees were indefinitely furloughed, and another 1.3 million were required to report to work without known payments, having known payment dates. So this can definitely reoccur again for the US, but probably in a different way, and for other countries as well, so just be careful. So September 19th to October 18th, this pada is about a man who kills his friend who's a rich trader and steals all his money. So there can be themes around that. So this is the US ascendant lord. We must be cautious in the matters of trade here. This can also give rise to crypto scams and people doing rug pulls in crypto, like celebrities and meme coins. The last time Mars was here, this happened. I believe it was Mars. And this is when they had that Haktua girl, I believe, who did the crypto scam, or it could have been Trump. I can't remember, but it was definitely a crypto scam. People who do anything to make millions or even kill others to make money, like they'll do anything. It doesn't have to necessarily be killed though. Then October 18th to December 5th, it is important to give back to society and anyone who asks you for help during this time. Some will be traveling a lot for career purposes, and others will start something new in business as they will be the first in their family to do so. It is important, if you do, to bring harmony to society and not to hurt them or play with their emotions. You will see politicians and celebrities doing this at this time, traveling but not helping others. And while it's in this nakshatra, Purnarvasu is all about trade. So it can help trade somewhat, but with the position of Saturn, it doesn't look favorable for trading, but maybe by the end of the year. This is dealing with astrology. This is dealing with gurus. This is dealing with tourism, recycling, hotel industry. This will help all of these. House construction companies. There could be an abundance of them. Universities, colleges, monks, gurus, preachers, import, export, farmers, home delivery, landlords, churches, home maintenance. So it's going to bring up themes of all this. Now it's going to depend on your chart. Now I just wanted to bring up that in June 14, 2013, there was a massive flooding that occurred in North India, killing up to 10,000 people when Jupiter was at 3 degrees in Gemini. And it was conjunct its natal Mars in the 2nd house. Mars is in Ardara Nakshatra, which is the storm god. And this is India's 8th house and the 10th house lord. So on May 28th, Jupiter will be at that 3 degrees. And so this can reoccur, some kind of huge storm disaster in India. And so these storms can happen before Jupiter enters Ardara, because a lot of countries I've noticed have planets in Ardara. So as soon as it conjuncts it, and may not be in the nakshatra right away, but it can cause storms even before Ardara. Also on August 5th to September 23rd, 1965, Jupiter entered Gemini and started the Indo-Pakistani War of 1965. And Jupiter will aspect India's 6th house when it goes into Gemini, 6th house of war, and its natal Mercury in the 3rd house of neighboring countries and conflicts. So this is why we see this playing out again already. And once it hits that Mars, at that same time, well, once it goes into the sign, May 14th, but May 28th as well, that's going to be a lot of activity around war. And then on July 12th in 2013, there was 12 people killed and 60 injured in a wave of shootings across Chicago. Now, Jupiter was conjunct the U.S. natal Mars in the 7th house. Mars is the lord of its 12th house of death, and Mars is crime. So definitely this is going to amp up crime in the U.S. and can cause another disaster like this. This pada is about loans also, and not being able to pay them back because the interest rate is too high, and these can be loans for education. So you have to be careful for this around the world, but especially the US as Jupiter enters Gemini. Now, also on December 30th, 2013, the war on Iraq started. This is the 7th house, which is in the 7th house of the US, which is open warfare. Jupiter is its ascendant lord going into this house. Venus is here, which is also the 6th house lord of war, and the sun is the 9th house lord of foreign nations. So Jupiter will be at 22 degrees on August 24th, but last time it started on the retrograde, but there must have been some events that led up to this. So I can foresee that there's a possibility of the US going into war, and possibly with Iran. Now, another thing to mention is June 19, 2013, because like I said, we're going through the same transit as 2013, there were the Alberta floods when Jupiter was at 4 degrees conjunct its natal moon in Ardara Nakshatra in the Canadian birth chart. I don't have the chart for Alberta. The moon is the lord of its 4th house of the homelands, and Cancer is also water. This is also the house of the weather disasters. So floods will be a big issue with Jupiter, and this can happen around June 2nd if it does happen, and that could be anywhere in Canada. Also, July 6, 2013, there was a rail disaster in Quebec that was a 73-car Montreal, Maine and Atlantic Railway freight train carrying crude oil crashed, and roughly half of the downtown area was destroyed when 47 people were killed, and more than 30 buildings in the town center, which was half of downtown, was destroyed. So Jupiter was aspecting Saturn and Rahu in the 7th house at this time. Jupiter will be aspecting Rahu in the 11th house this time, where its natal Ketu lies, and the 11th house is trains, and Jupiter will be in Ardara Nakshatra, which causes these types of events to occur. Saturn will be squaring Jupiter from Canada's 12th house of death, June 13th, so it is something to look out for around that date. Mars will also be making an 8th aspect onto Saturn, and this will be a crucial time all over the world as Mars will be conjunct K2 by sign. Warlike activities, heat waves, forest fires. So the biggest events around June 13, July, all of this, a lot of weather disasters and very, very life-changing events can occur. So that's just a little bit about what I see about this Jupiter transit. I thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you, and I'll see you in the next one.